Hello and welcome to Inspired Sports, the best part of your week, the best part of my
Yeah,
week, and the
baby.
best part of Scott Jakeway's week. What's going on, Scott? How are you?
Not a whole lot, bro. This is absolutely one of my favorite things to do every week. I'm so glad we're back, as we said so many times. I didn't realize how many times we said it last episode, but I'll just say it again for
Just
effect.
what
We're
we're
back.
back. And you're in a very special location.
Yes,
All of our listeners are in a place to hear the best sports talk with great inspiration.
absolutely.
But you are doing something that's even incredibly inspired. And tell the people where you are.
Oh, so yeah, absolutely. So I'm in Philadelphia. So it's kind of crazy that our podcast is mixed faith and sports and primarily football now. And it just so happens that I'm not here in Philadelphia to see the Cowboys Eagles play last night, but I'm in Philadelphia because Fresh Start Church, the church that I attend, we do a thing called Pray America, and we feel like it is our mantle to bring revival across the nation. And so for the
Come
last
on.
3 years, we've gone across the country in different cities, and just our worship team, our media team, our prayer team, along with 50 to 100 people from our church, it seems like every time, fly to multiple cities. And it just so happened this one is in Philadelphia. So we just finished up, we just wrapped our Pray America Philadelphia. And so now we get to mix prayer and sports, just like our podcast. So I'm excited. It's a lot of fun.
It is the first official time that Inspired Sports has been on location.
On
So thank
location.
you for breaking records and
Absolutely.
setting, a new standard for us as podcasters.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
Jakeway is live and on location in Philadelphia. So but Jake, it's been a wild week already. We're only 2 games into the NFL season and things are happening.
Seriously.
There's just crazy stuff. So we've definitely got to do some Did That Just
Yep.
Happen. So I'm
Yep.
going to come straight at you with tonight's
Hit
game.
me. Hit
We'll
me.
get to yesterday's game just after that.
Yep.
But first of all, Scott Jakeway, did Justin Herbert just level up?
I absolutely think, I have a feeling you're going to put a twist on it from the Chiefs side of things, just because I kind of feel like that may be where a Chiefs fan's going to go. I know that, for my teams, when they lose, it's the other team didn't beat us. It's
Oh,
our
your
team's
teams. Your
fault.
teams. You mean like the
Uh,
Cowboys and the Cardinals and all the other teams you claim? Have you
I,
settled
I
down
was
yet? Have you chosen a team?
I was more referencing the Phoenix Suns, the Diamondbacks, the Cardinals. But no, I absolutely think Justin Herbert leveled up. I feel like he had something to prove, and what better time to prove it than week one against the Chiefs? Patrick Mahomes in our day and age is probably the elite of the elite. After Tom Brady handed the mantle off in a lot of ways, I think, to Patrick Mahomes, just in the sense of championships, just in the sense of wins, clutch wins, comeback wins. And so what better way to prove that you are an up and coming quarterback and that you are going to that next level than beating the guy that everyone thinks that you have no chance of beating. So I absolutely think Justin Herbert leveled up. He looked sharp, he looked clean, no jitters. And I think that it was one of those times that you just see it in a quarterback, that he's poised, and he was just cool, calm, and collected, as the old sportscasters might say. So definitely think that is true. But let's hear what you have to say, because I have a feeling that you might have a little bit of a different thought to that.
Well, coming into tonight's game, Justin Herbert was 1-7 against Patrick Mahomes. 1-7. So if you want to say he leveled up because he got his second win ever against Patrick Mahomes in Brazil of all places, okay, I'll let that slide. That's fine. Justin Herbert had a fantastic game. He was 25 of 34 for 318 yards and 3 touchdowns, no turnovers, and he had the clutch run at the end to seal the game. Respect. This is not about, to me, I'm not going to take any shots here at Justin Herbert. But Mahomes as
that was
well was
that was a
fighting through some things.
that was a lot more tame
That
than
was
I
what?
expected. That was a lot more tame
Yeah,
than I thought.
just wait for it. Just wait for it. I'm not done.
Oh,
20 Mahomes was 24
here
of
it goes.
39
Here
for
it goes.
258 with 1 passing touchdown and 1 rushing touchdown. Mahomes led the Chiefs in rushes with 6. Isaiah Pacheco had 5. So this game was completely off kilter from about 3 plays in when Xavier Worthy got injured. Literally earlier in the week, Andy Reid mentioned, "We are going to incorporate Xavier Worthy. We have a lot of stuff that is built around Xavier Worthy," is what he's telling people. And then on the 3rd game, or I'm sorry, on the 3rd snap of the game, he's injured and he's out and he's questionable. But if you watch the play, I mean, it's very
He got
clear very
lit up.
quickly, and
He got
he
lit
got lit
up.
up. We'll talk about it later, in our next segment about why. But my point here is, I don't know if this is a great estimation of what either of these teams are, but at the end of the day, the Chargers
A win
stopped
is a win.
charging.
Yep.
But the Chargers stopped charging, and for the
Huh.
longest time, charging just means you found a way to lose a game you were supposed to win. And you know what? I was waiting for it to happen. I really did. I just have that Mahomes confidence, like, okay, it's the 4th quarter. Here we go. And congratulations to Justin Herbert. Congratulations to Jim Harbaugh, and congratulations to the Chargers. They are leveling up, and all of a sudden, when I see the Chargers on the Chiefs' schedule, I'm not quite as confident as I once was.
I mean, I can say pretty safely without looking back at the history books, this is probably the only time that the Chargers can say they have a better record than the Chiefs in like recent history, like in the Patrick Mahomes era. That Chargers are not typically
Well,
known to have a better record, so they'll take it. I'm sure if you asked any Chargers fan, I have a good buddy of mine that's a Chargers fan, listener of the show. I'm pretty sure if I asked him, he would say a win is a win. We'll take it. So let's just see how that pans out for the rest of the season, because obviously
well, I mean,
we
week
know.
2, the Chargers are facing the Raiders, so likely to win there.
Yep.
Although the Raiders have a completely revamped team and coaching staff. Pete Carroll's in, Geno Smith is in,
Yeah.
Ashton Genty's there, so maybe the Raiders will surprise. But the Chiefs are then facing the Eagles in a Super Bowl rematch in week 2. So we definitely there's a real world possibility where the Chiefs are staring at 0-2 and the Chargers are 2-0 with a win over them.
Who
So
would have thought?
really, they would be sitting in a situation where they're looking at a possible tiebreaker as
Yeah.
well. So it's yeah, I expected to get on this special Friday night recording of Inspired Sports, and I
Oh,
was ready, man. I was gonna come in just gloating and ready to talk about the greatness that was the Chiefs, but honestly, it didn't come together. They were sloppy. They had some other issues going on, but the question was, did Justin Herbert just level up? And I think we actually both agree here. Yeah,
yes.
kinda.
Yeah.
I got to see it for a whole season,
Yeah.
but yeah, kinda. It didn't look too big for him. So let's jump back one day
Okay.
to what was a wild first game of the NFL season, the Dallas
Super
Cowboys
wild.
and the Philadelphia Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles beat the Dallas Cowboys 24-20, as I'm sure everyone listening already knows, but we want to talk about what made that happen. And so here's my question for you, Scott
Okay.
Jakeway.
Okay.
Did the Dallas Cowboys just prove that they aren't an overpriced JV team?
As someone who one episode ago made it publicly known that I put my Cowboys, fandom on pause, I was really expecting that game to go much different, kind of being able to be like, told you so, you got blown out by the Eagles. Now, they did lose, and it's probably arguably they were like one maybe elite generational defender away from possibly
If I hear
when
generational talent one more time from anyone talking about Micah Parsons, I'm gonna vomit.
I mean I mean
People have got to stop. He's played 2 playoff games ever. I think the total of
but
3 maybe.
the
He's
question
got like
is
1 quarterback pressure and 1 sack. Like, okay, let's slow down on the generational talent. Like we've never seen a talented pass rusher before.
though is if he was in that game, do the Cowboys win? So,
No.
but with the okay, so we could disagree, agree to disagree on that. But let's answer the question: did the Cowboys prove
I
that
did
they're
answer the question.
not an overpriced JV team? I think so. I think that
Okay.
they have a lot of skeptics, that really
Sure.
feel like that, they were just going to be this team that probably like, Jets of the past, the Lions of the past, 0-16, like that was kind of where they were heading, like they were heading downward trajectory. And I mean, they put up a fight. Arguably, in my opinion, if there's not an hour rain delay, they may have had the momentum to win that game. I feel like they came out. We saw both teams come out super cold after that rain
it was
delay,
weird.
it was like
I
punt,
mean, you
punt,
were
punt,
there.
punt,
You
punt.
were there.
I
We
was
were
there.
talking. You were like,
Yeah.
yeah, people are running into this hotel off the street
Yep.
just to get out of this
It's-
wild storm.
Dude, coming from Arizona, I haven't seen rain like that in my life. But like, I mean, it's a real thing, but that momentum, I mean, it's tough to come back from that. And they were already down, but I arguably think that they had the momentum to possibly even pull out a win. So did they prove it? I think so. I think undeniably they proved it. But the question is does Jerry Jones and Dak Prescott have the momentum to sustain that kind of skill for the whole season, or is it just a same old from the Cowboys? Lose, possibly lose, get close, win one here. That's kind of the story of the Cowboys.
See,
So
that's exactly the way I view it. I actually, my answer is different than yours, but that right there is exactly what I'm talking
yeah,
about. Did the Cowboys just prove they aren't an overpriced JV team? Do you know who loses a game and then is like, yeah, but we only lost by a little bit?
a
And
JV team.
yeah, but we played way better than anyone thought we could.
Yeah.
Or yeah, we almost had them, guy. Do you know who does that? The JV team. Okay, they
Mhm.
are an overpriced JV team. That's what they are. And the problem with the Cowboys, and I'll keep it super short. The problem with the Cowboys is they refuse to fully commit to a rebuild.
True.
If they would just fully could just
Yep.
tear the whole thing down and start over, they might find the kind of foundation they need, which is not a $60 million Dak, though he played very well. They might find a foundation they need where their receiver, who they just paid top 3 money, one of the 3 highest paid receivers in the league, doesn't have 4 drops in the first game of the season, including 2 on the final drive. They might find footing to become a talented team that can actually contend for the playoffs and actually contend in the playoffs.
Well,
But they won't. Jerry Jones
Yeah. No.
just needs to be just good enough so that people talk about us or that he can generate headlines for people to
Yep.
talk about them. So I
I
do
would-
think
Yeah.
that kind of mindset, but guys, we did so much better than we thought we would. That's the JV team. You're like, yeah, you did, little guy. Good job, little guy.
I think that's why so many Cowboys fans continue to stay Cowboys fans, because it's like the dangling of the carrot. Like
Yeah.
we're just good enough that, like, oh, this is our year. I mean, there's teams that are just terrible year in and year out, and so their fans don't have any hope. They only have hype. Reference to last episode, and
Well done.
but the Cowboys, it's like every year, it's like, oh, we're just close enough. If we'd only caught those passes, if Dak Prescott,
If Dak hadn't been injured for 6 games.
yeah, it's always something, right? It's always a little thing, and you're totally right. I mean, so I guess in some sense we kind of agree on it, even though if we're just looking at that game, I think they prove it. But if we're looking at the grand scheme, and it's the Cowboys, they're probably a JV team still.
Good call.
Yep.
Good call.
Yep.
But on the bright side of things, outside of our ability to poke holes in, the persona of the Dallas Cowboys, I actually have to say the next "Did That Just Happen" has me wildly excited. And so
Yeah.
I'm asking you, Scott Jakeway, did the NFL just schedule the best week 1 games ever? Because here they are. Let me read them to you. Hold on. Before you answer, let me read them to you. Cowboys at Eagles, 2 raging rivals. Turns out to be a much better game than anyone thought. The Chargers at the Chiefs, an international affair in Brazil. Oh, we're going to Sao Paulo, Brazil, and who's going to be jet lagged and who the turf is going to fall apart and all this drama. Justin Herbert actually shows up and doesn't choke like he did in the playoffs last year where he threw 4 interceptions in 1 game. Sorry, just that. I don't know where that came from. The Steelers are playing at the Jets, so you have the revenge game where the 2 teams switch quarterbacks. Justin Fields is now the quarterback of the Steelers, and Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback. I'm sorry, Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback of the Steelers, and Justin Fields is the quarterback of the Jets. So you have this huge revenge game in week 1. You have the MVP matchup, Ravens at the Bills. So you've got the last 2 MVP quarterbacks facing off against each other. And then you have 2 desperate quarterbacks who are desperate to prove themselves on Monday night with the Vikings and the Bears. I'm just going to answer the question. I'm sorry. I was supposed to ask you, but I'm just answering, and then you go. Yep. I think it's the best week 1 I have ever seen in my life. Hands down.
Hands down. Here's my thing. Coming from a basketball standpoint or a background, the NBA is genius at this. They set their games up intentionally, Christmas Day games and
Yeah.
the opening night games. They know how to they do it. The NFL is not known for that. The NFL, I mean, because of the way it's scheduled and structured, you just don't typically get that, especially on week one. I feel like there was just this intentionality with week one that the NFL is just not known for in their scheduling, to where it's like, man, all week, all week one, I'm excited to watch.
Oh, absolutely. And I look at all of those, and my team played and they lost. And normally that would just make me sour for the rest of the week. But how could I be? There's
Yeah,
so many great games coming.
yeah,
Personally, of all of those games, obviously Ravens Bills. I mean, that could be a tiebreaker game at the end of the year if they, heading into playoff seeding. But I'm really excited to see the Vikings at the Bears. And these are not teams I'm normally excited to watch, but the
yep,
mystery of like, what is JJ McCarthy? What is he? Is he like this amazing quarterback who just got injured in his rookie year and like he's just been
yeah,
itching to get on the field and they're going to cut him loose and you're going to be like, wow, that's why you let go of Sam Darnold after a 14-3 season? Or is JJ McCarthy just the guy who was the fifth quarterback drafted in the first round of his draft? He was the fifth quarterback.
yeah, no,
There were four
yeah,
other teams that needed quarterbacks, and they were like, not that guy. No. So I personally think he's not the guy, but I'm excited just to see what he is. I'm going to see
yeah.
him on the field, right? And
Well,
then shout out real quickly to the Bears and Caleb Williams. Just for our fans out there, a lot of you know this, but I'm just going to reiterate. In college football, I'm an Oklahoma Sooners fan. So there was a time in my life when I really loved Caleb Williams.
uh,
But then he ditched us, and Lincoln Riley ditched us and went to USC.
yep,
And now I don't have the warm fuzzies for Caleb Williams
mm,
anymore. As a matter of fact, I kind of liked his rookie year where he looked like he was really struggling.
same,
But
same.
this year he's got Ben Johnson, who's was a great offensive coordinator in Detroit and is a great offensive mind. And so I think Caleb Williams is desperate to prove that rookie year isn't who he really is. So
Well,
there's just great games all week long. It's
yeah,
awesome. Way to go, NFL.
I couldn't agree more. And for me, I am really looking forward to the Steelers and Jets, simply because the quarterback swap of is just one of those things that in sports, it's like, man, could that player have been great with a different team? Was it really them, or was it the team? And now I know that
Right.
neither one of these quarterbacks are, young blood, but like it's just one of those things that, like, can that quarterback, can they succeed just with a different team? And so, like, just a different framework around them. I don't know. I think it's fun to watch. It's a big what if. It's fun to like, you know throw out these like what ifs of like, see, he can still play, but he just needed someone else around him, different coach. Those are
I
the kinds of things that every sports player talks about. So that, for me, that's
so
the big one.
I feel like I have to pull the curtain back for a second.
Okay.
I have to admit I'm kind of rooting for Aaron Rodgers this season, and I'm kind of rooting for Joe Flacco because they're the only two quarterbacks left in the NFL that are older than me.
Yep.
And it's
Yep.
like, come on, guys, you can still do it. You got it. You got
this. You got
this.
this.
You're not too old for this.
Well, for me,
And
it's
so
like,
I'm like,
I'm only 6 days older than Joe Flacco. I could play football. I could be a quarterback.
I think it's we're gonna have to let go of it after this year.
Yeah.
I don't know that we'll see either of them after this year,
This
but
is
we will cheer them on and we will support them.
exactly.
That is it for Did That Just Happen? We will
No.
have more Did That Just Happen in every podcast because we believe it's
Everyone.
the best way to bring you the best topics here on Inspired Sports, your place for clean sports talk with real inspiration. But
sir.
it is time for a trademark segment, one that we are known for around the world because it is super fun. So
So
this
excited.
is the first one of the season. This is it, our trademark segment. Don't
Don't
be that guy. Don't
Every
be
time.
that guy. Listen, this is something when things happen in the NFL and you're just like, what was that guy thinking?
Mhm.
What was he doing? Why? we got to take a moment. We got to say, don't be that guy. So, Scotty Jakeway, you take the lead here. I'm pretty sure that our listeners might know where this one's going.
Listen, I feel like I would be doing this segment a disservice because it seems like these things write themselves, right? Like we don't get the opportunity in the fashion that we write this program to plan this out weeks in advance, right? Like this is in real time. We're responding in real time to these things. And so like it just wrote itself. Jalen Carter has to be hands down, possibly of all season. Don't be that guy.
Yeah,
Listen,
he might have won. He might have won the "Don't Be That Guy" trophy, and it's week 1. I don't know how anyone passes it, but I'm sorry. You go ahead.
let me just set this up. First of all, you are a top 10 pick only but a couple drafts ago. So I mean, you're not like this, on your way out, like I got nothing else to prove. I'm just angry at
Right.
the world, No, you're still young, you're still talented, and you are a top 10 pick on the world champion team, Eagles, and you spit on Dak Prescott. As much as I'm
It's
sure
not funny.
no,
If our listeners hear me laughing, it's absurd.
it's
It makes me laugh
absurd.
because it's absurd.
And here's the thing. It was the first play of the game. Like we hadn't even
They
started.
had only kicked the ball off. That's it. There had not been an offensive snap yet.
Literally, how do you get kicked out of week 1? I mean, everyone's talking about it's the Eagles and the Cowboys. The Eagles, can they repeat? Can they do again what they did last year? Like, can they have that same momentum? All this talk is on you, and you totally disregard that. I mean, we were literally eating dinner at a restaurant here in Philly, and all of a sudden I'm like, I'm so excited for the game to start. And I look up and there's a player being escorted into the locker room, and I'm going,
Big Dom
how in
walking
the world
about.
have we started? And I look it up and I'm like, you've got to be kidding. You spit on, as much as I'm sure every Eagles fan wants to do what Jalen Hurts or Jalen Carter did. I mean, like,
To who did he do it to?
to Dak Prescott.
The Dak Prescott.
The
that's
Dak
right.
Prescott. I mean, like he literally did what every Eagles fan probably has dreamt of doing. But still, don't be that guy. Now you're taking away from your team. You're for the hour-long lightning delay. What did they show? The entire hour. You spitting on
slow motion.
the slow motion spit.
It's in slow mo.
I mean, come on.
We really need to fill the time here, so we need to show it in slow mo. Okay.
yeah.
But can I say this, and we'll move on from Jalen Carter's ridiculousness. If you go back and you watch the footage a little bit before and the footage a little bit after, and I know there's some people already saying this, but the moment I saw it, you see, and Dak Prescott has already admitted in the press conference that he did spit in the general direction.
We all do.
I'm telling you, I want to applaud Dak Prescott for this. I think it was intentional. I think it was genius. I think a veteran player baited a young player. First of all, Jalen Carter should not have been past the ball and right up next to their huddle.
Right.
So he kind of walked himself into the situation. But I think Dak spit on the ground near him and just like, let's see if I can just set this, because he's known for being like a firecracker. Like he'll go off, he'll do something crazy. That was his MO in college. It was one of the reasons why he fell in the draft a little bit. And so like, he's an excellent player, has tremendous value. But I think Dak was like, because the moment he spit on him, you see Dak, even in slow motion, immediately point to the ref that Jalen Carter can't see, that is standing right next to him. And Dak goes, do you see that? And the ref just throws the flag. And you see in the footage, I know you've seen it, Dak just smiles because he knows he's getting ejected. Dak, before the game, had an offensive snap, eliminated the best defensive player on the Eagles. Genius. Way to go, Dak. It was the best move you made all night.
All night, but seriously, to follow the segment, Jalen Carter, don't be that guy. Just don't be that guy. Because now you're living in, it's going to be replayed for all of time.
Yes.
You're not going to be known for anything else other than you're the guy that spit on Dak Prescott.
That's number one on
Not
the list.
number one on the list.
But I
Well,
have my own. I have my own Don't Be That Guy. Can I
okay.
do that real
Yeah,
quick?
yeah, yeah.
And then
Go
we'll
for
get
it. Go for it.
into an incredible devotion that you have
Yes,
written
sir.
for me
Yes,
as
sir.
well as your friend, but also for all of our listeners. That
Let's
I'm
hear
very
it.
excited to hear. But first, I just got to get this off my chest. I just watched the Chiefs game. Just watched my team lose their first game. As a matter of fact, it was the first game in 17 games that was decided by less than a touchdown that the Chiefs lost. I know that's kind of a convoluted stat, but they had won 17 straight games that were decided by a touchdown or less. They lose that game. I'm annoyed as can be, but here's my number one reason I'm annoyed. It is because for the second straight year, a future Hall of Fame Kansas City Chiefs player injures our best receiver. Travis Kelce, my friend, my homie, my boy. The jersey was hanging last week. I got Patrick up this week. I have to say it. Travis, don't be that guy. You decleated Xavier Worthy and injured him. What happened? How did your routes run you into each other and you just leveled him? Jake, he lifted Xavier Worthy up off the ground and did something
It
to
was
his
rough.
shoulder. It's brutal. And immediately all I can think about is last season when Patrick Mahomes throws an interception and runs to try to tackle the guy that intercepted the ball and instead throws his helmet into Rashee Rice's knee, and Rashee Rice is done for the year. So we have no idea at this point because the game just ended. All we know is he was questionable for the rest of the game, didn't come back in the game with a shoulder injury. That could be anything. He could have a broken clavicle. He could have a separated shoulder. He could have an AC joint issue.
Yep.
It could be a ton of stuff. But all I know is it's not like he got hit by the other team's linebacker or a strong safety. He got hit by Travis Kelce. Like, seriously, he got hit by Taylor Swift's fiance. Focus, Travis. Focus, Travis, please. Don't be that guy.
Listen. I have to say this. I am a coach for my son's junior high team, and I can
right.
confidently say not one of them has run into each other in any of the routes that we've ran. We're talking 12 and 13-year-olds running routes every day at practice, and not once has one of them ever ran into the other one. So I don't know how Travis Kelce may have done that, because first of all, you just look, hey, there's a guy on my own team running at me.
Look.
B,
move.
I know you guys are going at a fast pace, but come on. Love hurts, I guess. Travis Kelce is up in the clouds about planning this, grandioso halftime
That's it.
wedding.
That's right. His head is in the clouds.
He's thinking halftime wedding in a few months, so no, I think that, come on, man. You have one job. You have one job, not run into your own teammates.
You can run into them as much as you want.
Don't
stop
decleat them.
injuring our best receiver, because Rashee Rice is already suspended. So Xavier Worthy, boom, best receiver.
Boom.
Now, once again, we don't have any talented receivers. This is where all Kansas City Chief fans lived for too long. But I digress. It's over. We're moving on. Travis, I forgive you. We're going to be okay.
Yep.
But if you do it again, I'll still forgive you, and we're going to be okay. But I hope everyone enjoyed these crazy hot did that just happen, and don't be that guy. But the moment of truth is here. The time that we take at the end of every episode of Inspired Sports, in which one of us shares a biblical devotion that we believe will encourage you, that will inspire you, that will challenge you to dig into your own Bible and learn a little more, or spend a little more time with Jesus in prayer, or whatever it is that we can do to lift you up, because we believe that sports talk is a lot of fun, but we also believe we have an opportunity to just bring something really positive into this podcast, and there's nothing better than learning from the Word of God, and Scotty Jakeway has prepared something awesome for us.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. So I think we talked about it a little bit last week. Obviously, we're faith mixed with football. And when we get to this devotion, I started to write it and started to think about, like, how would I want to frame a week one, beginning of the season kind of devotion. And I started to think, how much purpose every single player has in week one. And in football, every season, every team, they start that season with a playbook, a fresh playbook, possibly a fresh team, a game plan, and a goal. Every team, week one, has the same goal. Let's go out there, win enough games to make the playoffs, and let's get through the playoffs and let's win us a championship. Now, that purpose for some teams dwindles really fast. And then for some, it's a constant drive every week. Hey, we lost last week. That's okay. We're going to get out there. I mean, think about the Chiefs. They lost tonight, and their entire purpose is, hey, we still have the same goal, and that's to win a championship. Go win our fourth championship. We're gonna let's go out there. Let's crush it. Let's forget about the past. Let's put it behind us. What's done is done. And so that's their purpose. And so I've entitled this devotion "Playing with Purpose," because here's the thing, and Travis Kelsey, this is a perfect example leading into this. I already had wrote this devotion before we talked about this, but players are not always aligned, which is why you might run into your own teammate. Uh, Not all players are the same level of discipline and focused, and even the most talented roster can fall short. And I think so is life, right? Like, I mean, not everyone in your life has the same goal, has the same thoughts, has the same drive. And so you really have to lean on the Lord in life. And so when you have found your purpose, that will get you past the hard times. And when other people are falling away, maybe it's falling away from their faith, falling away from the thing that drives them every day because it's just not worth it to them anymore, you are still waking up every day saying, I'm living today with a purpose. Because in our faith, God has given us the playbook, the Bible, basic instructions before leaving earth, as it's commonly referred to, and it's got a clear goal. And that's to live a life with so much purpose and with so much drive, not for this world, but for eternity. And so, what we do every day is to bring God glory, is to live a sanctified, consecrated lifestyle when everyone else around us is deciding that life is hard. So I'm giving up on that purpose that I once had. I can't think about how many times friends and I that used to go to church with me that no longer serve the Lord because they've lost the focus on playing with purpose in life. And so the scripture that I want to drive is this First Corinthians 9:24 and 25. And I'm going to read it off the page. So uh, bear with me. But it says this. It says, "Don't you realize that in a race everyone runs, but only one person gets the prize? So run to win. All athletes are disciplined in their training. They do it to win a prize that will eventually fade away, but we do it for an eternal prize." And I think that goes so well with what we've already seen in week one in these first couple games. And every year, the hype, the hope, the focus, the drive, the purpose of, I want to go out there and win a championship. And how much does that translate to our lives as Christians? So I jotted down three thoughts that I want to share real quick. Is number one, that we have to always be prepared to win games. Football players, they study film, they practice, they run drills, they hit the weight room, and they do it all so that they can go out there and to win games. They prepare. They don't just show up on Sunday or Thursday or Monday and play a game. They prepare week in and week out, even on in the offseason. And as believers, we have to do the same thing. Our training comes in prayer. We just got done with a prayer strike here in Philadelphia. Reading your word, understanding what it is, and not just reading it to read it and check it off your list, but to really like read it to understand it. And 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 honestly, the one that I think a lot of Christians fall flat on is building fellowship with other Christians. It is vital that we build fellowship and build relationship with other Christians, because when I'm weak, I can lean to my brother and say, "Hey man, I need you to pray for me. I need you to guide me. Point me back to the scripture. Point me back to the playbook as to why I'm going to continue to play this life called with purpose." And the second one, it goes right with that, is teamwork is key. Man, I think about our time in school of ministry. I think about our time in doing this podcast and said this prayer strike, this Pray America event that we just did. it took teamwork for us to do that. We didn't all just show up and say, "Hey, I'm going to do what I want to do, and that's going to be it." No, we all came together and said, "Okay, how can we be successful in a collective goal?" And honestly, that's what every football team does. The football teams that fail are usually the ones that are made up of possibly really great players, but are not team oriented players. A quarterback is not going to win you a championship by himself. It takes a line, takes a running back, wide receivers. It takes a defense, and same goes with our life in our walk with God. If you try to be a lone ranger, you're gonna fail miserably, and you're gonna be miserable doing it, depressed, sad, anxiety ridden. And usually, the things that save me from those emotions, those hard times, is because I have brothers and sisters, I have pastors, I have family that lift me up, just like a team does when you lose a game that you thought you were going to win. I mean, right now the Chiefs are huddling together. Everyone else might be dogging on them, bagging on them. How could you let the Chargers beat you? And they're, I guarantee, on that bus going to week 2, preparing for next week, going, "It's okay, man. I got you. Hey, Travis, don't worry about it, man. That sucks that you ran into our player, but don't worry, we got you. It's all good. Let's shake it off. Let's move forward." So it's so key that we have teamwork, because community in Christ is vital. And then the last one is what I wrote down is we have to keep our eyes focused on the goal, eternal perspective as Christians, right? I think about NFL players, NFL teams. We're in week 1, and they're chasing the trophy. They're chasing the ring, the Hall of Fame. They're chasing the All Star, ballots and all the things. The rookies of the year, the defensive players of the year, the MVPs. They're chasing all those things. Those are the things that really keep them with the eyes on the prize, right? And for us, it's not just as we just read in First Corinthians. It's not the prize that fade away that is keeping us motivated. It's knowing that no matter how bad this moment is, I have an eternal prize waiting for me in heaven. No matter the struggles I face, the sicknesses, the torment, the ups and the downs, the financial struggles, no matter what it might be, you know what? That's okay, because I know that I have eternity waiting for me when I go to heaven. And so Paul reminds us that it's a crown that we are gaining in heaven. And so when struggles come, we have to keep our eyes on the bigger prize and not get distracted with what's temporary, because man, it's hard. And I'm not saying that it's easy, because when you got that thing, that sickness, that doctor's report, when you got that bank account that's dwindling, when you've got the pressure from work, it's easy to look at that instead of eternity. And so I want us to end with this. My closing challenge, I wrote this down, is as fans, we love watching athletes give their all on the field. But what about us in our daily walk shows that I'm preparing spiritually like the athletes are preparing for Sunday. We both have, as Christians, our goal is Sundays, right? Sundays is our deal. So is NFL players. What am I doing to prepare for my Sundays, and my Mondays? I heard someone say this when I was struggling when I was 15. Someone looked at me and said, "It's not how high you jump on Sunday, it's how far you walk on Monday." And so my point that I want to leave you is just like athletes prepare, just like athletes have teamwork and camaraderie, just like athletes have a focus on the goal in mind, no matter what it is in the moment. We have to do the same as Christians. We have to be willing to say, "Hey, I want to build a community of believers around me. I want to look focused, eyes on the prize, staying in prayer, staying in my Bible. And no matter what goes left or right of me, I'm not going to be shaken, because my faith is secure. My faith is firm, because I am playing this life with purpose."
Jake, that makes so much sense. I can't tell you how many times, just from the time that I spent, we went to Bible college together,
Yeah.
but we've also both spent time with both youth, young adults. I've worked with other Bible colleges
Yep.
and had the opportunity to talk to a lot of young people and it's such a common question. Like, I don't know what my purpose is, and I don't know where
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be or what I'm supposed to be doing. And you laid it out so well, Scott. First and foremost, it is developing your relationship with Jesus and listening for what he wants to do in and through you.
Yeah.
So, man, I'm feeling encouraged by that. I'm feeling reminded
Yes,
that,
sir.
man, just like you're breaking a sweat and you're working out and you're getting in shape and you're prepared, like
Yep.
we need to be doing that spiritually.
Yes,
So I
sir.
hope all of our listeners take that as not just encouragement and inspiration, but a challenge from Scott Jakeway today to play with purpose and to live with purpose. So we hope that you receive that, apply that,
Mm.
enjoy that, tell other people about that. We hope that you subscribe here on Inspired Sports on YouTube or any podcast platform that you enjoy, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever else you like to use. You will find Inspired Sports. You can follow us on social media. But we just want you to know that we're here to bring you the best sports talk that also brings you the needed boost throughout your week of a little bit of inspiration. So thank you, Scott Jakeway. You did an
Yes, sir.
incredible job.
Thanks.
And
Same to
we
you.
look forward to recording again on Monday night, right after the first Monday night football of the year. That game, Vikings at the Bears. We will
Let's
be
go.
recording, and you can look for us on Tuesday with all the best sports talk and a great devotion. Thank you for listening to Inspired Sports. Tell people bye, Scotty Jakeway.
See you next time.